Hi friends, hello, hi, how are you? I hope you guys are having an amazing day today. Hello and welcome to what is technically my closet. This is like my closet slash vanity area, and this is where I do my makeup every day. Well, not every day, but I do my makeup here when I'm doing my makeup. And today I kind of wanted to do something a little different. It's actually not different, but it's kind of going back to my roots. If you've been following for a long time, you know that I pretty much got my start on YouTube by doing these sort of get ready with me, talking about makeup drama videos. They're the videos that first really blew up on my channel. I did them forever. And over time, I kind of stopped doing these more ranty, get ready with me videos. Literally just because I preferred more like long form scripted content, and that's what I usually do. But today we are going to be talking about, literally it feels like we're in an endless cycle in the beauty community that will just never be broken. So I want to talk about what's going on right now on TikTok with Michaela Narargo. I'm not saying that right. I know that I'm not. I'm going to be talking about the drama that's going on with her and also subsequently basically the entire TikTok beauty community. And because this was so reminiscent to me of videos I made literally 5 years ago, I decided that I'm going to go do this little bit of an old school format for this video. Just tell you guys what's happening and also give my opinion on it, like my thoughts on everything. So if you're down for that and you want to hear about the tea, and you also want to hear, oh my God, I haven't said that in so long. Oh my God. If you want to hear about the tea, but also you want to hear my thoughts on why I think the beauty community is never truly going to escape this cycle of consumerism that we are always in, keep watching and get ready with me. I don't know. Girl. Also, today's video does have a sponsor, so we're gonna roll to that first, and then we will jump into all of the controversy. Hi friends, Editing Me here, and today's video is sponsored by Way. Today I wanted to talk about some of the products that I use from Way that are more for styling my hair instead of just everyday use. I feel like I have talked the leave-in conditioner to death, but it is a great product. I find that these products just help with everyday styling, or even if you're doing something a little bit extra. The first thing I want to talk about is the Dry Texture Foam from Way. I use this a lot when I'm curling my hair. The most recent time I used this was actually New Year's Eve because I did like a very curly, bouncy, full hair look. But this stuff is amazing at just giving your hair a little bit more volume and a little bit more texture to it instead of making it look so flat. I feel like because I have naturally very straight, sort of thin hair, if I do try to curl my hair, sometimes it still looks a little bland and a little flat and a little like there's just nothing going on. It doesn't have that bounce. I use just a tiny bit of this while my hair is still wet and then blow dry it. I find that this stuff works amazing. The other thing that I use pretty consistently, especially when I'm using my hot tools, is the heat protectant spray. I use this every single time I'm going to straighten or curl my hair. I didn't realize how important heat protectants were for a really long time. And then I started using this about 1.5 years ago. This is about my 3rd bottle. I just kind of coat my hair in a thin layer of this before I'm applying an excessive amount of heat to it, just to make sure I'm really protecting my hair from how harsh a lot of those things are. And then finally, this is probably my favorite because one of my favorite go-to looks is this exact hairstyle. It's like a half up, half down. I do this almost every day for some reason or another. This is just my go-to, and I really love the sort of slicked back look that you can get when you do a half up, half down, or if you do a high pony. So this matte pomade is incredible for that. I find that I don't love using gels because sometimes it can make my hair feel crunchy and almost look really greasy up in here. Instead of looking slicked back, it just looks dirty. I find with this stuff, because it's a more matte finish, it gives you that slicked back look without looking crunchy or super oily, especially if you already have oily hair. This stuff kind of evaporates the oil out of that and gives you a really nice, beautiful slicked back look without being too much. If you're interested in trying any of these products that I am recommending, you can go to theouai.com and use code Smokey for 15% off your purchase. That is theouai.com and use code Smokey for 15% off your purchase. Thank you so much to Way for sponsoring this video and always making sure I look flawless. And let's jump into the video. If anybody uses a headband that isn't stained in makeup, I would love to know what you do. Like, I wash mine, but am I supposed to wash it after every use? Because it constantly gets stained with makeup. Anyway, I figured I'd show you guys just like my everyday makeup routine. As of late, this is like really what I do basically every day. It's very simple. The first thing I do is, I'm not gonna like talk you through everything, but I'll kind of tell you. I go in with the Drunk Elephant whipped cream thing as like a primer base. I like using moisturizer way better as primer than I used to. I feel like I used to be so into like silicone primers, and now I'm just like, no, just like prep the skin with some moisture, you'll be good to go. So for those of you that are not on TikTok, / even if you are, you probably know about this if you're on like the more makeup side of TikTok, but there's a massive makeup TikToker named Michaela Noguero. I know I've heard how to pronounce her name before. Anyway, she looks like this. This is Michaela. She is probably one of the most prominent makeup TikTokers at the moment. She's definitely one of the most followed. And also she's very reminiscent to me of very old school beauty YouTube, which is so interesting because I feel like in the YouTube space, a lot of people got very sick of kind of what's happening in the makeup space on TikTok right now. But I think because it's shorter form content, it's more digestible. She reminds me so much of like 2016 beauty YouTube, just in terms of like she gets all of this PR, like mountains of crazy PR boxes that she's always unboxing. She has like this insane makeup room that is just a room filled with so much makeup. It's insane how much makeup she has. She has the Alex drawers that like every beauty guru used to have. She's a huge, huge TikTok influencer. And her content is mostly focused around product reviews. Sometimes she dabbles in like a little bit more lifestyle. Like she's talking about like she's getting married soon, so she does like wedding content. And her whole thing is like she's done collaborations with brands and I actually have her eyeshadow palette. Like she's done the whole 2016 beauty guru thing to a T. Like that's exactly what she has done. And actually, I have always really liked Michaela. I know that there's been some criticism of her in the past. Probably the most notable one was a clip that ended up going viral where she was basically just like complaining about being an influencer and talking about how like she wakes up every day and it's a lot of hard work and that like not everybody could do the job of an influencer because she works all day. I've said this from the start and I'm gonna keep saying it. As influencers / people who do YouTube as a job or content creation as a job, you really aren't in a super great position to complain about it. It's a hard line to walk because it like is a like weird job and it's also weirdly can be very stressful and very hard. But also the money you're making for doing that job is so disproportionate. And when you have especially like, I don't know, a record number of unemployments in the country and like people are like not able to afford food and like we're about to be in a fucking recession in America. Like when you have all of those things going on, it's hard to feel bad for a beauty influencer who like has to wake up at 8 a.m. and go to meetings for like all of the eyeshadow palettes she's getting paid millions of dollars to make. You know, it's just not the time. So a while back, she got pretty heavily roasted for that, but she had a really good response to the whole thing, at least in my opinion. She responded to all of that controversy by basically being like, I would never think that like my job is harder than say a teacher or somebody who works in like the fast food industry. She wasn't trying to say that her job was harder. I think that her words definitely were just like, she didn't phrase it right, basically. But she had this whole drama and she actually left TikTok for like a minute to kind of deal with the fallout from that. And after this happened, I think that a lot of people were already starting to just sort of turn on her, but it's turning on her in the same exact way that people started turning on beauty gurus in like 2017. And it's really just that you get to a point where, number one, people can only rave about makeup so much. Like there's only so much makeup that a normal person needs to buy. So I think already on TikTok, consumers over there are starting to get just this sort of slight makeup fatigue that again is very real and can happen pretty easily in the beauty space because you only have one face and there's 1,000,002 products that all of these TikTokers are telling you is like the best thing in the entire world, and obviously you can't buy all of them. So there's already been a little bit more of that fatigue, and I also think people have started to get a little bit frustrated with Michaela and also just other TikTok creators, primarily because they're doing a lot more sponsored content, which if you've been here for like a minute and on the internet for a minute, sponsored content has always been a very dicey subject. People get a little frustrated with sponsored content, especially if the sponsorship doesn't seem genuine, and especially because back in 2016, the big problem, and this is something I'm seeing in TikTok so much right now, the biggest problem with sponsored content back in like 2016, 2017 was literally the fact that people just weren't disclosing when they were being sponsored, which is a huge FTC violation. Legally, you have to disclose if you are being paid to talk positively about a product, but a lot of influencers started getting a little tricky with it and a little sneaky, and that's kind of what happened to Michaela in this situation. She recently made a TikTok video where she reviewed the L'Oreal telescopic mascara. She showed in the video her applying the mascara and made a really huge deal about the fact that it wasn't like false lashes, but it looked like false lashes. The whole point of the video was that this mascara is going to give you this false lash look without you necessarily needing to apply those. I would argue the first problem with the video is that it really was not made clear that that video was a sponsorship. It was 100% a sponsorship. Like, there's no way that that video was not sponsored. She has L'Oreal, hashtag L'Oreal partner in the bio, and very quickly on the screen at the beginning of the video, in very tiny letters, it says hashtag L'Oreal partner, which I guess is their new way of getting around disclosing that this is an ad. I thought before that the FTC made it pretty clear that you had to put hashtag ad or make it abundantly clear to like any normal consumer that that video's an ad. She did not do that in this video, which I think was the first mistake. I think as soon as you start doing sketchier things like that, you're always going to run into problems because the people that you're reviewing products for, and people don't like to talk about this, but I think this is the reality of makeup content. When you're talking about makeup in that way, the people that you're talking to are basically your customer base, especially when you're doing sponsored content where you're getting paid because your fans are buying the thing that you are promoting. Like, it is a very much a transactional situation. So that's why I think it's so important to make that super clear. You can still absolutely do honest reviews of products and be sponsored by them. I have seen people do it for years, but the person that is being informed about the product, absolutely, you guys, like the people watching, you absolutely have to be made aware that that is an advertisement and that you are being advertised to. It's not just like your parasocial bestie recommending this mascara for you. This is a person whose sole purpose of making this video is to try to sell you on that. The bigger drama that ended up happening though was in the video, she made this really, really huge deal about how it looked like she was wearing false lashes, but she like wasn't. And oh my God, like look at this crazy change in my lash. And in the fucking video, I can't believe she did this. This is so just like, but also I can, because we've seen it before. This is just like the never ending cycle. But she literally in the video, there was like a camera cut and then she came back and she had 20 extra lashes. She'd obviously just cut like her Ardell wispies and put the clump back on her eye so the end of her lashes was super full and voluminous and made it look natural. But like, if you know anything about false lashes, that was not natural. Those were falsies. The thing is, people use, and I saw some interesting points about this because obviously people called this out like instantly. Like, everyone was really upset very quickly. And I think it's not even so much the fact that she used the false lashes, because I've seen some really good points that makeup companies use false lashes in advertisements all the time. Like, there is not a photo you're seeing in the Target makeup section that has not been heavily retouched to make it look way more intense than it actually is. But those makeup companies, if they're marketing a mascara to you and they used false lashes, they literally have to put a disclaimer that says, we enhance these lashes. That is why it looks like this in the picture. Granted, they can put it in very small print and be kind of shady about it, but they can still do that. Like, marketing is a thing. I don't think anyone's mad at her for marketing something. I think people are mad because number one, she was not clear that it was an advertisement. And number two, she just blatantly lied about wearing the false lashes. She tried to say that no, everything, like my lashes were completely 100% mine in this video, even though when you screenshot it and zoom in, you can obviously see that they are not. And then in the comments of the video, people were very quickly calling her out and being like, Michaela, obviously those are false lashes. And she doubled down and was like, no, they're not. This is fully just the mascara that I use. It had nothing to do with falsies. And I think that's when people started to feel, and frankly, I would too, if I like bought everything she recommended and like really trusted her, I would also feel insulted. Like, my intelligence would feel insulted that you think you can just lie about wearing false lashes and like nobody's gonna notice. All right, we can get rid of the headband now. That's good. Ooh, we got a big bun today. It's like a second head. Oh my God. Anyway, so all of this is going on. People are calling her out. It is so stupidly reminiscent of like early YouTube days. Like, it is unreal how similar this situation is to everything that used to happen in 2016. Michaela has still yet to make a statement as the time that I'm filming this video. I'm pretty sure she's going to. I'm not sure what she's gonna say. I can't imagine that this is gonna like cancel her forever. Like, I truly think she's probably gonna be fine. She just needs to like give an apology and like it'll be fine. Because at the end of the day, this isn't like a mortal sin. Like, it just, the problem with it is not really that people are going to hate her. The problem is that people aren't going to trust her. And her entire brand has been built on her consumer base trusting her and trusting what she's saying about products, and now that trust is gone. And once that trust is gone, it's very, very hard to get that back in the way that she had it before. Michaela was so influential on TikTok because she could talk about, say, like a small business, and their brand would blow up, like immediately just blow up and have like this amazing like record. They'd like sell out of all their products. Anything she talked about, she literally is like the Jaclyn Hill of TikTok. Anything she talked about would basically immediately sell out. Now, I would argue the most annoying part about all of this, besides the fact that like, when will people learn that you can't just lie to consumers blatantly about things? Like, that's annoying. But the other annoying part about this is that the one consistency in every fucking makeup community downfall is Jeffree Star. And Jeffree Star, of course, had to come out of hiding and give his 2 cents on this opinion. And everyone's like, oh, we missed you, Jeffree. You were so honest. And it's like, yeah, Jeffree probably was pretty honest about like 99% of the products he reviewed. Do I think it's a little weird that as a business owner who had stake in shitting on other people's products, like because he would gain from it because people would buy his products, do I think it's a little weird that like people trust him so heavily? Yes. Like, that is a little bit weird to me. But he was also one of the only influencers back in the day who wasn't bought out by Morphe or bought out by all these different codes that people had. So I get why people trust his makeup recommendations, but of course he had to jump in and just like really dogpile on this girl and basically say that like, don't worry guys, he's coming back and we'll get honest makeup reviews soon. Which to me is the most annoying part, is the resurgence of Jeffree Star, because he was like gone for a minute. Like, he left YouTube. Everything was quiet. He only shows up when shit's hitting the fan and he can capitalize on it. But anyway, it's like the long and short of it. And honestly, in hindsight, and maybe I'm just so tired of beauty community drama that like I don't have it in me anymore to make this like big outrageous thing. It's like, she fucked up. She should have disclosed that it was a sponsorship. She shouldn't have lied about using false lashes. And she definitely should not have doubled down on not using false lashes when she was called out for it. As a person with that big of a platform, and I have been saying this for years, but I will continue to say it, you do have a large responsibility and people do trust you. Your words matter. Your actions matter. The things you choose to support, they matter. And I think Michaela is learning that lesson in a very hard way right now, because a lot of people feel very betrayed that she abused her platform in this way. The bigger message to me though is, besides this Michaela drama and everything like that, the bigger point that I want to make is that like, the beauty community, no matter where we go or what platform it happens on, we're gonna keep running into these same problems. And that's largely because of what I talked about earlier. You get to a point in the beauty space where you get big enough as a creator, and honestly, the makeup companies that you would want to work with breed this idea that your fan base and your subscriber base and your followers, they're not just that anymore. They are also customers. And not only customers for the brands that you're working with, they're customers for you. Michaela especially is a great example. She's had 2 makeup releases. She had a sunglass line launch. I'm sure she's going to be launching other products in the future. Her fan base now is not just her fan base. They're people that pay for her house and pay for her lifestyle. L'Oreal asked her to do this sponsorship, and honestly, with how much influence she has, I would not be surprised if that was like a 6-figure deal by L'Oreal, and that deal is only profitable for them if she is able to convince her following to buy the product, which is what she was trying to do. I think that we've all been saying for years, especially again if you've been in this YouTube space for long enough, that it's really frustrating that it feels like influencers put money above the people that got them to where they were. And it is frustrating, but it's also the way that the entire makeup community has worked and probably will always work. The makeup community works and keeps going because people keep buying more makeup. It's the same way that fashion content, like that's how that works. The only way fashion creators can work and the only way that content works is by trying new things, doing new try-ons, finding new places to shop from. And the whole point you're gonna watch that video is to see if you should also be buying those things. And there is value in that. There's value in review-based content. Like that is important. It's important to be informed consumers. It helps reduce waste. It helps you make sure that you're spending your money on the right things. But the problem becomes brands will inevitably want to come in and capitalize on all of that, capitalize on the reviews, and they will pay you a lot of money to say something is good even if it's not. And time again, we've seen influencers be unable to resist that money. I think the biggest takeaway for me, and I guess like in general, just with all of this stuff, the biggest takeaway from this entire situation for me isn't like, oh, go cancel Michaela, go tell her she sucks. Like, she made a mistake, it was a huge mistake, and she's gonna pay the consequences for that. Not even right now in the fallout, she's gonna pay the consequence because her fan base has lost trust in her. You have to decide when you go into this type of space and you go into a very consumer heavy online space and you wanna be like the next Michaela, you wanna be the next Jaclyn Hill, you wanna be the next Jeffree Star, you have to decide really early on what is more important to you. Like, is it more important to make a lot of money, which you very easily can, or is it more important to have the trust of your audience? Because at the end, and I would make the argument that even though making a lot of money is very nice, I would argue that in order to increase the longevity of your career, it is so much more important to keep the trust of the people that watch you. You can make quick, easy money by lying, but eventually you're going to lose that trust, and with losing that trust, you're going to lose your entire base of people that watch you. The only reason people watch these types of videos is to know what to buy or not. So if they don't trust you to tell them what to buy and what not to buy, you're not going to be able to have a fan base anymore. Like, it's all going to go away. I thought that we had learned that lesson in like early days of YouTube. I really thought that this is something we had all come to terms with and figured out and been like, yeah, selling out for a brand very rarely pays off for people, especially in the long term. It's literally why brand endorsements and paid sponsorships and distrust of influencers is a massive reason why there was a huge decline in viewership for the beauty community on YouTube. Not like that's the beauty space on YouTube is not popping the way that it used to, and that is a massive contributing factor. Obviously, there were other factors, like there was so much drama and so much everything else. Like obviously, review-based and tutorial-based videos used to be some of the most watched content on YouTube, and it's just not anymore. Number one, because people know how they like to do their makeup now, so they're not really watching tutorials. But number two, people don't trust all of the big beauty influencers that were on the YouTube space. And the same exact thing is happening right now on TikTok. And honestly, I don't think that this cycle will really ever end. Like, I'm sure there'll be people who will come along and like stay super honest about like makeup, I am sure, and be like just as knowledgeable, but also maybe not, because like this space just breeds overconsumption and either being really, really positive or really, really negative. Nobody wants to see a meh review about a product. People want to know if it fucking sucks or if it's fucking amazing, especially in a TikTok video that is 60 seconds to 3 minutes long, where people want immediate information quickly, and if they get bored with the content, they're just gonna keep scrolling. I used to think that YouTube really breeded this overreactionary type content, but like TikTok has brought that to a whole different level. It has to be so entertaining and so eye-grabbing so quickly that it gets you to stop that endless scroll that you're on constantly. And when we're talking about makeup, that means that it needs to be engaging and crazy and super, like you have to have such strong opinions about everything. But that's not how life works. Do you know how many products that we all have probably tried that I'm just like, I could probably find one, right? The Rare Beauty skin tint. I really liked it. Now I'm like, meh, it's good for the summer, but like, it's okay. It's not life-changing. It's not gonna change your life. It's good, not gonna change your life. But like, TikTok breeds that overreaction. All I'll say is that I think Michaela, frankly, has probably had enough of a like public anger at her. Like, she's probably had enough of the public outrage. She knows she fucked up. There's no way she does not know. Like, she's aware. She knows. She's probably figuring out the best way to handle this in a way that like can try to regain the trust of some of her consumers. And I can really only hope, because Michaela, I don't know if I'm just like wrong about this, but she does seem very genuine and she does seem to care. Like, she gives off way more authentic vibes than a lot of the other beauty gurus that used to be pulling this shit. So like, maybe this can be, instead of a cancel Michaela moment, maybe give her like one more chance to like take this as a learning lesson that no amount of money is ever going to be worth losing the trust and respect of your following. It's just not. Like, it's not gonna be, unless it's like, you know, 25 billion. Isn't that what Beyonce just got paid? $25 million to perform? I would betray you guys for $25 million. I'm not gonna lie. I would tell you that this like concealer would take you to the moon for $25 million. Anyway, everyone does have a price, but the price should probably not be at the expense of the people that are quite literally funding your entire life. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm sorry if this is a little bit more scattered. I kind of liked it though. I should do these more often. I kind of miss doing these like really chill, just sit down, run throughs with my opinions. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe, or just subscribe, or do neither. Honestly, just so happy you're watching me. Thank you so much for being here. My social justice spotlight will be linked down below. There's a lot of great links down there. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I feel like this makeup look turned out like shit. I don't know why. This is what I do every day, but I look orange on camera. I don't know. Anyway, I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!